Hey y'all, how are you? We are back for our sixth episode, our sixth rescheduled episode. We apologize for that little hang up. I guess we're going 2 weeks back now. It's really exciting time. Just, a lot of moving parts, and we had a power outage. Not much we can do about that. But we're extremely stoked to be back here with you guys for another really great episode. We've got some music playing here in the background, which is timely for one of our topics today, which is going to be music in marketing and how that affects your company, how that affects your branding. Of course, we're going to start with one of our company values. Our company value for today is going to be family time. Again, a really relevant, timely topic for us to dive into. And then last but not least, you guys can see at the bottom, we're doing our shout out. The shout out is the Inn of Claysburg, which we're really excited about. Angie's actually at the Inn. It's our new location for our business in Claysburg, which will be hopefully opening up in fall and winter of 2022. You guys are going to get a little special sneak peek at the end of this to bring our shout out full circle. But let's dive into it, Mom. How about we talk a little bit about family time? Family time and what that means to us. Obviously, we are family. We get to spend family time together a lot more than most folks do. So we're extremely blessed in that aspect. But I think one of the things that we've talked about going forward is how do we bring our family full circle into the Yazoo family, and what does that mean, and spending time with one another. But really, what we talk about is family time is so important because it allows us to be refreshed, allows us to be empowered, allows us to be encouraged by our family to go out to support one another and really do the work that you love. But I want to pass the puck a little bit and let you talk about family time, because I know there's been a lot going on in your life as well.
Yeah, I think, when we were doing these and putting together Find Things Refresh, we wanted to give a value and how it would impact a business. And for us, it's God first and then family. And having a family value as a company, what that means is it means that we have to value when our employees or consultants come to us and say, look, I have this going on in my family. And it could be a special time with kids at an event. It could be, something going on in someone's life, a big thing, unexpected things, illnesses, that we be very careful that we extend that same ability to put family in a prime spot to them as we would to anybody else. And there's rewards for that as a company. That's loyalty from people that stay with you for many years, and that love you like family, and that you love in turn like family. That's huge. And I think that when we talk about Find Things, as we're giving hopefully leadership goals. If you say that your business is family oriented, then you have to live that. And does that won't take it? I mean, sometimes people take advantage of that, and you have to be mindful of what's real and what's not real. But I truly believe if you are honest about it and you are honest about it yourself, that people don't take advantage as much as some think they do.
Yeah, agreed.
I don't see it. We don't see it in our world. We don't see people taking advantage of that. We see people giving more and being grateful because we're like, you know what? Go. Do it. You need to take care of that. Go be with them. That's the thing. And I think that is a core value to us because it's what we live, and it's also given back to us from other people. And
absolutely.
Same thing with clients. Like, it's understanding what's going on in their world, and that they are living life just like we are. And that, sometimes you have deadlines and they can't be met on their part for whatever, and being super understanding. So it's served us well in business. And, it's easy for us to carry it out because we're family, and, we get to work together. But
we're blessed with that for sure. But I mean, you can even take it a little step further when you talk about family time. It really, talk about the word time, and time is something that you don't get back in this life. And the time that we spend with each other is really precious. That's precious time that our employees spend working for us. That's time that we spend with our clients, that our clients spend with us. And I think when you talk about time, it's really important to allow flexibility and support in time of need, in time of family, in time of congratulations and joy. And there's a lot of moments in life, and I think it's just important to allow that flexibility in time and ultimately family time. But it's relevant because I'm getting married in less than 60 days. So I'm going to be taking some family time here and not too long. And that's, again, having that flexibility and know that I'm going to be supported by a team when I'm not there. Um, it's something I'm really gracious about. And it's something that I want to continue to be one of the building blocks for the agency going forward. And it's allowed you and I to do what we do each and every day. But that's family time. And that is our core company value for today, in episode number 6, again, family time. And I think there's a lot of opportunities to apply family time and how you approach family time into the aspects of the workplace. And again, empowering your team, your consultants, your partners to allow for that flexibility and support them when there are things that come up. And even the opportunity to, we just talked about this with one of our clients, and not to spend a lot more time on this, but sharing those moments, right? That family time moments, getting it out and sharing it with the community and showing that there's a personality. We just talked about it with, our client Reclamier, and like having those opportunities to share their team and those life moments. And that is really, really awesome because it's an area where the more that you encourage that and you empower folks, there's just a lot of joy that comes out. So, and those are also true candid moments that most people want to engage with.
I'll jump in and say, we know in marketing that that was a big thing that came across this year when we were kicking off January and looking at what they were saying was going to be big for 2022 is people, and this has honestly been going on for a long time, but
yeah, nothing new, but
deal with brands that are real. People want to deal with brands that they know a little bit about the people. So if that's a core value for you, I say hey, hold it up at your meetings monthly, quarterly, and talk about, are we really living true to this? Like that's what. And then does the world know that this is important to us? Because maybe it will help them get to know us better and feel comfortable doing business with us. So
absolutely. And that's a great jumping point into our marketing topic, which is music in marketing and how much music and sounds can impact the personality of your brand and really, the tone in which your brand is received and how you are coming out to your audience. So this is really, really exciting because obviously I love music. I know that you love music. You brought a lot of music into my life. We share a lot of precious moments through songs. And I think you just sort of start the topic by talking about how much music moves your life. And, when you go to music in certain times of your life, whether it's, again, we talk about the peaks and valleys of life, but music is always there as something you can sort of lean into to sort of give you that support. But what you're finding and what's really exciting is that brands are taking it a next step forward. So some timely news that's going on. There's the creation now of what is called the Chief Music Officer. A lot of these brands are obviously bigger brands that have the ability to sort of flex into these spaces, but they're bringing on celebrities and people that you would know, like John Legend is the Chief Music Officer at Headspace. You have Steve Aoki, the world-renowned DJ, is the Chief Music Officer at Orange Theory. All of these companies, of course, are what you would call like a music-based company. They're really trying to use music to create an environment. But there's the one that we talked about a long time ago, but actually just happened June 22nd. MasterCard released the first ever music album called Priceless. So they actually released an album called Priceless, and they did this as an opportunity to use it from a marketing perspective. So they actually partnered with an agency to help mentor disenfranchised communities, but give them the opportunity to make these like remixes and songs. So it was really an opportunity to go out and integrate themselves with the younger population. And they did that through music, but it really, really cool. I mean, you're talking almost a month ago, the first ever album was released by a brand. You never would have heard that before.
And it's like so cool because it makes you start getting really creative, and like my brain spins when I hear this about what even our clients could do, of even just releasing having like on their website their brand playlist. Um,
Hmm.
so like, you know, I'm like, we want to do it. We were talking about like, okay, let's have a Yazoo playlist and have it
Yep.
on our website. And these are like songs we love and that get us in the creative spirit. Um, like, think about that. And that takes me back to prior to COVID, where we were talking a lot about experiential marketing and sensory,
Yep.
that there was a big push to making sure whether you were marketing on your website or in person, that you were touching each one of a person's senses. And music was a big thing, everything from what is playing when a person walks in your office. And it doesn't even have to be like, people think, oh, that's retail space, that is only for restaurants and retail spaces and such, but it's actually not true, because what
Exactly.
is, if I go for a sales appointment to you and you're playing, you know, music that is appealing to the general public, um, you know, or like something that is soothing or whatever, like it's you're remembering that. Same thing with smell, all of that. So for that period of time when I was speaking on that, I was super excited about what you could do, because what that does is it triggers memory
Yep.
positive way. If somebody has like a really great experience somewhere, that song, when they hear it again, triggers. So it's kind of interesting, but I love this. I think it's so cool. I mean, I would love to go. Like if I was younger, how cool would it be to be somebody's, chief music officer?
And you're finding that. I mean, brands are really spending time, like you, obviously the retail ones come to mind, Abercrombie and Fitch. They really are investing in individuals that spend time curating these playlists. And it is really based off obviously the time, the season, what may or may not being be sold, what kind of environment you may see yourself using something that you're purchasing. So they do a lot of those experiments with, when do you think this product would be used? What would be the situation? You try to mimic that sound with the sound that you play where you would buy that device. So you can sort of see yourself using those things. But it also goes into health and fitness. I mean, obviously motivation at the gym, soothing when you go into perhaps, the mental wellness side of things, the doctor's office. There's really a tone that you're trying to set when you go into those spaces, but it can be applied across the board. I mean, it's all the way from the Zoom commercials that were Mazda to built Ford Tough to, da 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 da. I'm loving it. McDonald's. I mean, like you have everything. All of those things are essentially music. I mean, it's a sound that you're creating and you are tying to your brand. But
Yeah,
ultimately, it's coming down, like you said, the five senses. What's that level of emotion that you're trying to establish, and that connection from a personal level, which is really, really, really interesting. Um,
Eli, it's like one of the things like we always talk about, how do we bring it down for smaller brands? And we just did this
yep.
project for TikTok and doing the research on like trending music in TikTok and how people, like a lot of times it's not even about what you're putting on there, it's about the music. It's
Yep.
crazy. A lot of that stuff was very eye-opening to me. But I
Beats
do.
per minute. It's all about, there's some really interesting stuff in there. But the other cool part to that, your point though, not to jump over you, is that you could take something that is trending and go to like a local musician, or a local music producer and have something sort of recreated in that same tone and space that you could then tie and be your own original music. So there's opportunity there. You just have to think outside the box when you're doing it.
Yeah, we all know tremendously talented musicians that would probably do it for, an affordable fee for a small business. Um,
Exactly.
so anyhow, it's a really cool topic. But I know there's some like rules and stuff too with using music that you're very familiar with coming from the production end.
Yeah, well, it's funny because it does both things, right? Even when you're talking about the production and you're creating a video, the first half of that whole discovery process is discussion of music. Being like, there's a lot of projects when we would do something at Black Coffee, and I spent a lot of time with my partners there, that they spent the first 50% of the time selecting the track and trying different tracks and seeing what it would look like. Because once you have that music bed, is what you would call it, then the visuals come to life. Then you can put, as the music track builds, you start to speed up the cuts, you start to build up the imagery. But a lot of that is all driven by the pace of the song and the tone that you're trying to establish. But to your point, there's a whole other licensing back end, right? There is are you allowed to do that? And we saw, recently with TikTok and doing the work with CareerLink, like there are things as a business TikTok channel that you can't do from a music perspective. You're limited by the licensing. So you have to be very aware of that in today's world, because you'll find things that may be really great that you're excited to share, but could be a popular track. You upload it to YouTube as a commercial and it's pulled down immediately. And you need to be aware of those things, but there's other avenues and opportunities to work around those hurdles. Again, you just have to sort of think outside the box, and use those opportunities. For example, TikTok gives you licensed tracks to use. So you just got to have to sort of pivot a little bit. Maybe it's not exactly what you want, but again, play within that same tone, that same space, to establish that track that you're looking for. But it's not just sound and music, right? I think one of the cool things that you in particular, Mom, were on the edge of was podcasting. And podcasting is exploding once again. I mean, you're talking in the early 2000s was really like sort of the beginning in the adoption of podcasting. But throwing some stats at you, in 2022, 62% of the population, 12 plus, the ages of 12 and up, listen to a podcast, and roughly 79% of those are actually familiar with the podcasting medium, right? So there's one thing that ages 12 and up know what a podcast is. Over 62% of the population have. 73% of the US population have listened to an online audio in the last month. That's kind of crazy. Over 1/3 of Americans listen to podcasts regularly. Also kind of crazy. And 26%, 80 million Americans are weekly podcast listeners. So those are just stats to kind of wrap your head around. It's not just always music, but is there an opportunity for you to start creating a podcast? And the reasons to join the club are it's low barriers to entry. It's really not hard to do. It's repeatable, and the content is easily digestible for your audience. I mean, you can plug into a podcast and mow your grass or fold laundry or walk your dog or, rock your kid to sleep. I mean, there's so many different things that you could do while listening to a podcast. Drive your car. Geez, every time I drive from North Carolina to Pennsylvania, Morgan and I are listening to podcasts. So there's opportunities there to really build your brand around music, around audio, around a sound.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, and it is easy to do, and you don't even have to do it at the level. You can do a podcast that you just put on your website. You don't even need to take it out nationally if you don't want to. But it's easy to take it out. Like, it's not hard to do that either. So
when I would encourage everybody that haven't spent a lot of time thinking about it. If you have a brick and mortar store, I would encourage you to schedule a meeting with your team, 30 minutes to an hour, do it over lunch, and ask folks, what kind of songs would you guys want to play if we started, having music playing in here? And give them the opportunity to chime in and sort of hear the feedback. And then you can take and say, what is our brand? What do we want our brand to sound like? And then just start with that, like little music that could play in the, the lobby, or the music that could play in the warehouse for the, the folks that are doing the work, like empowering them. I think there's another opportunity to engage with your team, to engage with your audience, your clients, your potential clients, and establish who you are as a brand from an auditory perspective.
Yeah, and then be cutting edge and do something, like have your playlists on your website and have a pop-up that says, while you're browsing our website, listen to some music. And
yeah.
Click on it, and they can listen to your playlist and feel like if you have a boutique and you're listening, because a lot of them already have music playing.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you can do that. There's nothing wrong with that.
And have them decide a little bit more thought of what kind of music they want to listen to, and then have their website too, and so, hey, this is some of the music you'd be hearing if you were here in person. And there's cool stuff you can do with it. It's fun.
Well, one of the things that we're going to be talking about in just a second, I think it's a great jumping point, is the music that obviously will be playing at the Inn of Claysburg, which is our shout out for today's episode. Something near and dear, obviously, to my mother's heart, and to my heart, and to recently selling the house and to moving into the innkeeper suite and all the moving parts with the life that's going on, and now the opportunity to really build a true experience at the Inn of Claysburg. So I'm going to allow you to jump in, and I'm going to throw up again the banner at the bottom. I'm excited to hopefully have you guys here in the near future, opening in the fall and winter of this year, 2022. So we're gonna get some things set up here to switch gears. Mom, if you want to pull up your other screen,
Yeah,
and while you're doing that, do a little intro.
just before I do that, I guess I'll say, like I've been blessed twice in my life as a as a marketing strategist to market businesses that were family businesses. One was a wellness company that we had for almost a decade and had an opportunity to merge with another business. And now this, which it's Das Gasthaus, the Inn of Kleisberg, that means the guest house in German. And the reason we did that as the logo and official name is because it means the guest house in German. And Kleisberg was actually founded by a German family way back in the day. And so we wanted to keep some of the history that we'll be playing on for the inn as part of it. But we are going to officially probably use the Inn of Kleisberg as the URL and such, just because people don't know.
Lost God's house.
Hey, everybody's like, I can't say that. I can say it. So we're going to give you like a little sneak peek, not the whole place, but we'll take you into some of the rooms that are shaping up. And I'm going to leave here and jump on here, and Eli is going to magically get rid of me in one of these places. So
go ahead and get yourself set up. And again, just to sort of set the stage a little further, it's a work in progress, but these are some of the rooms that are coming together. I actually had an opportunity to stay there while I was, in Pennsylvania recently. And it really is an awesome experience. There's a ton of history in Kleisberg, to Angie's point, but excited to create this environment at the Inn of Kleisberg with you all. So here we go. I'm gonna get
on there, Eli.
Did you have the make sure you have the second link?
Yep. Came in on the second one, but I'll do it again.
Yeah.
Sorry, little technical glitch. Doing stuff while you're live is always fun.
No worries. We're gonna have it in a second, and if you need me to resend, I can do that.
No, this is the second one.
Okay.
You see me coming in? It's definitely the second one.
I'm gonna remove you and let you come in. And
am I in?
all right, here we are. A little bit of a tour for you guys. I'm gonna switch my mode as well so we can get a full screen.
You see me?
We sure can.
Okay, so I sound like I'm echoing.
That's okay. It's a little bit of an audio issue, but it's not too bad, folks. So we're just gonna give you a little sneak preview of, again, the Inn.
So here we are. So this is the second floor. I just left the the innkeeper suite, but showing you some of the bedrooms. So this is, this one is Sunset Rose room. So you'll see it's just really muted pink. The artwork's not even hung yet. But super cozy. Like, we get a lot of feedback on this room as far as the light.
Yeah,
So
we actually stayed in that room when we were there, and that's the one that Morgan worked in and absolutely loved working in.
Yeah, this room I love. It's in progress. This is called City Nights, and it has a little bit more of a eclectic, mid-century modern vibe to it, and it's just really cool. There's a lot of work in progress here. You can see the stuff, the ladders and such, but it's going to be a focus on eclectic and artwork and mid-century modern.
That wall is so cool. It's such a statement piece.
Yeah.
Accent wall.
Getting a lot of good feedback on this room too, so it's fun. So this door will be closed. It'll be private. They can rent that half of the house, or they can rent this half of the house and have private baths, or they can share a bath, which we're kind of going old school, going back to the old day of guest houses where they shared a bath, but it will be oh yeah.
Oh, might be losing you a little bit.
It's kind of cool because we're going to have luxury bath items and a private bath basket in every room. So it's not like you'll be sharing bath mats or anything.
you'll take your own private bath basket to the bathroom, and you'll have an in use sign that you can put on the door. And of course, each room will have two luxury robes in them that you can wear in the halls and such. So this room I love. I'm almost forgetting the names of the rooms that we named in our marketing, but I think it's called Lakeside Nights. But that's what it
Love that.
reminds you of, is you come in and
Yeah.
the artwork's again not hung, but it just feels like you're at a lake, you know, which is kind of cool because you can take a walk a block away and go down by the Susquehanna, like the tributary to the Juniata River. It's a small tributary. I think it's the Susquehanna branch of the Juniata River.
I believe it is, yeah.
So you can be riverside and take a little walk. You feel like you're absolutely on vacation. You can take the bikes out and ride 5 miles down and 5 miles back and not even hit a hill. It's the best bike ride. So this side of the inn actually has 2 rooms. This bathroom, I'm not going to show you. It's not done. This room, which is my favorite, actually has the tub in it in waiting. The tub is obviously not going to be in this room. But this little sunny room is just a fan favorite. Everybody who's come through is like, absolutely love that room.
It's just cute and cozy and warm.
Just the light in here. I don't know if it's showing well, but the light in here, the air conditioning, it's just absolutely feels like an art studio. And the antiques in here are just beautiful. So, and then, so that's the half the house that you would rent with a private bath for this side. And then the other side are the 2 bedrooms I just shared you, which is Sunset Rose and City Nights. And then I'll show you the third one, which is called the Indigo Room. But this is the hallway. And so you come up the steps, which next time we're on, I'll have to show you the downstairs. But you come up the steps to this. And then this is going to be a coffee microwave area. So in the morning, you don't have to go downstairs.
Love
that. If you don't want to. And then you come up here, and this is the 3rd bedroom on this side, called the Indigo Room. And we absolutely love it. It's like supposed to be traveler themed, like really unique pieces that remind you of something people picked up on their travels. And it's really going outside of the box in terms of interior design, with and mixing them. Whoop.
I love this color in here. It looks so great.
And it's funny because this is the only room in the entire inn that we did not paint. And to much dismay of the original design, I fell in love with it. And again, when we give tours, everyone's like, wow, this room is fabulous. Which is kind of funny because it was a point of consternation at the beginning as to whether we should paint this or not. So those are the 5 bedrooms for rent coming in fall, winter this year. So you'll either, again, be able to rent a private room with a shared bath, very, very affordable. Or you'll be able to rent half a house, 2 options, one with 3 bedrooms and a private bath, or one with 2 bedrooms and a private bath. And we're going to be doing, as soon as the 2nd bath over there is complete, we are going to be doing some grand opening, like special guests come and stay. Awesome. We've been teasing, calling them guester testers. Like they can come test out and let us know what we need to change and do different. So super excited, but thank you so much for giving us a chance to show this labor of love. And
absolutely.
We're excited to open it up. And the idea goes back to family, which was our topic for today, is we wanted to create a place where families could come and rent and stay when they're in town for weddings and special events, and they want to go skiing up at Blue Knob and they don't want to stay up in the condos, or you know, they're just here for business and they don't want to stay in a hotel that has more of that family feeling and vibe.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, and well, we appreciate you guys taking the tour with us. To Angie's point, we're going to do part 2, probably in the next episode or the episode following that, to give you guys a sneak peek of the downstairs as well. But again, the Inn of Claysburg, and stay tuned for more updates. We should be having a website splash page at the very least, hopefully in the next month or so. So lots of updates, lots of moving and grooving. But we appreciate you guys diving on in with us for another episode of Find Things Refreshed. Stay tuned for more. Share, like, comment. Let us know if there's another topic you guys want us to highlight. But we appreciate you all. Take some family time and enjoy your summer. But we'll be back again. Dive on in and have a great afternoon, everybody. Bye.
thanks. Bye.